This is the Catholic Esquire. Today we're going to talk about the real poison pill that's happening at the Synodality in Rome this month of October. This is really the last phase of the preparatory phase that's going to happen. And then I think sometime next year there's going to be some document that sort of summarizes everything and then draws conclusions. But I think a lot of people, including traditionalists and conservatives, are being misled here. You see, modernists, they're very devious, they're very clever, and a lot of them are actually quite intelligent. And they know exactly what they're doing here, and they're intentionally misleading and sort of throwing in distractions in order to keep the eyes of the traditionalists and the conservatives off of the real ball, off of the real goal here. And so what I'm hoping to do in this video is remind you of what's actually really happening, because I'm sure many of you have already thought of this, but refocus so we don't get distracted and misled, so we can continue to fight for the truth against the actual lies that are being perpetuated at this time. Because the Synod of Synodality is exactly what that title says. This is about synodality, and synodality is anti-hierarchical. The poison pill here, my friends, is not that the modernists want to ordain women. It's not that they want to change the sacrament of marriage to allow unholy unions to be sacramentalized. The point of the synod today is not any of that. The point of this synod now is to change the structure of the church, how the church operates going forward, to change the process of the church going forward forever. It's intended now to set a precedent where a document will summarize this process itself, and then going forward, that is how the changes to truth and tradition will take place. You see, the traditionalists, they sit here and say, oh, we can't wait for the next General Ecumenical Council to come in and correct Francis on all his errors, and he's going to clear this all up for us. We just have to wait for him to die, and then all of these things are going to be fixed sometime down in the future by this council. And I'm sitting here thinking, you guys, the Synod of Synodality is making the next council that you're hoping to come in and save you never going to happen. The whole point of this is to eliminate the need for a hierarchical hope. The whole purpose of this is to eliminate the need for hierarchical general ecumenical councils. No, 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 no. See, this is all about flipping the idea of hierarchy on its head so that everybody from around the world can come together and sit around these little tables, drink their coffee and their donuts, and vote on what the truths of the Catholic Church are, to vote on what the truths of God's revelation to us are. That's how things are going to be moving forward. That's what synodality is. And so, ideally, and we've already talked about this with other documents and in other prior videos, for example, the Bishop of Rome document, the whole point of this is they're deconstructing the authority structure, the governing structure. That's where this whole women's stuff comes into play. Okay, sure, there's some here, women are there that actually think they want to be ordained to become deacons and priests. But really the point is that it's just about giving women power, right? It's giving them authority within this big structure. They don't actually care about the sacraments, my friends. Catholics care about the sacraments. You know, that's why they're perfectly happy to say, "Oh, well, we're not going to do ordinations. We're not going to allow certain types of marriages sacramentally," because they're just going to give the power to women, or they're going to just give some sort of recognition to certain relationships without the sacramental ordination, because they don't care about that. Most of these people don't even believe in grace or understand the basics of the catechism. This is power, political. This is all this is. and it's designed to achieve an ultimate greater global agenda. That's Bergoglio's role in this, is to deconstruct the papacy and then deconstruct the hierarchy, and we're going to turn it into a big democratic council run by certain ideological viewpoints and certain people who do not understand the faith, care about the faith, and certainly don't care about you or the salvation of souls, because a lot of them don't even believe in that. This is about power. So, what are the conservatives getting wrong here? They're getting misled down these rabbit holes of women ordination or marriage changes. No, you guys, that may come down the line. It doesn't matter. It's not about substance now. Now it's about process. It's about procedure and changing how we're going to change in the future. The process. The traditionalists are being misled because they're seeing all this terrible proposed heresy and Francis teaching heresy every week on these things, and they're saying there must be something wrong with Vatican I. You know, we Vatican I, which taught that the Pope was the supreme head of the church, the the vicar of Christ. This can't possibly be, because the vicar of Christ would never do such a horrible thing. And the error there is they're not checking the premises. What's the premise? The premise is that Francis is the Pope in the first place. Go back and check the premises, but they're too afraid to do that now because we're so far into this. We can't be afraid to just say we made a mistake and go back and check our premises. This is not Catholic. What's happening here is not Catholic. And so our response must be not just, well, we don't think there's theological reasons for women to be ordained. And no. We need to reject the entire synod, the entire process of synodality. Our focus point, our talking point must be we reject synodality completely. This is a novel idea. This is designed, it comes from Vatican II. It's designed to destroy the hierarchy. They do it originally for ecumenical reasons, and now it's done because they're trying to convert and hijack the Catholic Church to achieve unholy and evil ends globally. That is what we have to make our argument about. Don't get going down these rabbit holes. Don't go back and start questioning whether Vatican I was wrong or not. We need to stay focused and speak the truth. Defend the church that Christ set up. My friends, thank you for listening to this. I hope this is helpful. If it is, please share the video, subscribe to the channel. We have to stay on our toes. This is all political. We have to be politically savvy. We have to understand who we're dealing with here. These clever, devious people. Okay, don't fall for their traps. Now, this channel isn't always about just being negative and calling people out for being devious and liars. You know, we're trying to accomplish things here as well, going out into the world and spreading the truth and spreading the gospel. One other way we're doing this is with an Altar and Throne podcast that I am hosting under my pen name, Marcus Veritas, and with my partner. And we're really trying to get the voices of people who don't get much exposure in Catholic YouTube media out there. So the most recent episode, you can check us out. We interviewed Frank from Frankly Speaking. He has a YouTube channel. He does so much good work on just researching the history of the church from a real grassroots level. But he does a great job. He's really well read, and I really appreciated the interview he provided to us. He's big on uh, integralism, what that means, and very much into history, including Italian history. So check it out. I'll put a link to the Altar and Throne podcast in the description to this video. My friends, we have to keep continuing to spread the faith, spread the truth. Don't back away from it. Don't throw up our hands and say none of this matters, like some people are starting to do now, shockingly. Stay strong. Pray for the conversion of Jorge Mario Bergoglio. Pray for him that he may become Catholic, convert before the end of his days for the salvation of his soul. And of course, pray for Holy Mother Church. God bless.